Remember the hook that lived in your head for years, then the band vanished? Tonight we're chasing those ghosts. 10 killer 80s pop bands who flashed bright, scored the song, and slipped off the map. Here's the promise: no repeats, one signature track each, and straight answers on why they disappeared, label drama, bad timing, scene shifts, or the one-hit trap. You'll hear the names you half remember: German film star, Feels Like Heaven, Since Yesterday, Shiny Shiny, Tarzan Boy, and the stories behind the fade out. Stay for number 2 if that late 80s synth classic still hits you on first note, and don't miss number 1, proof that chart peaks aren't the same as legacy. If you love lost pop gold, you're in the right place. Let's count down 10 to 1, forgotten 80s pop bands that vanished without a trace. A song like a dream, you almost remember the Passions took the post-punk chill of London and softened it into a gauzy, romantic haze. That guitar shimmer, that vocal floating just out of reach. German film star wasn't built to shout its way up the chart, it was built to haunt. It reached the UK Top 30 and settled into cult status, the kind of track that DJs pull out when the room wants to feel nostalgic but not sleepy. The band never found a second single that hit the same vein. Tastes were shifting, labels were chasing bigger hooks, and subtlety is a tough sell when radio wants choruses that punch through car speakers. By '83, the quartet had folded, yet listen back and you hear a blueprint for countless dream pop bands to come. Question: do you remember where you first heard it? Late night radio? Or on a mixtape from someone who knew?
Hey, Pop Lore family. Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
Here's the soft focus snapshot of early 80s synth pop at its sweetest. Fiction Factory wrote a melody you can hum on the first pass and never quite forget. The drum machine ticks like a heartbeat, the synths sigh, and the vocal aches with hope. It hit the UK Top 10, crossed borders, and then silence.
Now we can recall harmony.
Follow-ups landed lighter. Albums struggled to keep pace with a scene that was getting bolder and brighter by the month. In a decade where image sometimes sold as much as sound, the band's understated presence worked against them, but judged on the song alone, it's a small classic, the kind that sneaks into movie trailers and wedding playlists decades later because it captures a feeling: new love, fragile and glowing. Question: when that chorus hits, does it take you back to 1984 or does it feel timeless? Don't let the bows and polka dots fool you. This duo gave us one of the decade's sharpest pop contrasts. Since Yesterday sounds bright and sugar sweet, but the lyric cuts with anxiety and end-of-the-world worry. That tension, cute surface, heavy heart, made the record unforgettable. It crashed into the UK Top 5 and became a cult export, especially in Japan, where the band's look and melody sense made perfect cultural sense. But after the breakthrough, pressure set in. Label expectations, creative differences, the weight of being a brand as much as a band. By '86, the project was over. Listen now and you hear today's indie pop DNA. Sweet hook, bittersweet core, bedroom-sized production that still feels huge on headphones. Question: did you read it as a happy song back then, or did the melancholy always peek through for you? This is pop as street theater, half cartoon, half protest sign. Hasty Fantasy arrived like a day-glow flash mob, throwing anti-nuke lines over skittering beats, fiddles, and chants. Shiny Shiny wasn't just a single, it was a statement. The new romantic scene could be silly and serious at the same time. They burned fast, 1981 to 1983, and the party ended as quickly as it began. Why? The sound was so specific, so of the moment, that it didn't easily stretch into a second act. But what a moment, a reminder that pop can carry a message without losing its grin, and that a one hit can be a perfect snapshot of a cultural mood. Question: in a world of very polished pop, do you miss this kind of chaotic, playful weirdness? One jungle hook to rule the summer. Tarzan Boy is pure earworm engineering, a wordless chant, a rubbery synth bass, a melody you can whistle walking down the street. The project blended Italo-disco sheen with a global pop wink, fronted by a charismatic lead and powered by studio smarts. Made serious noise across Europe and then leapt to the US a year later, becoming a radio and MTV staple. And then the classic second act problem. When your first hit is that big, the follow-up needs either a left turn or a taller mountain. The next singles didn't stick, momentum evaporated, and by '87, the project was done. Still, Tarzan Boy refuses to die. Advertising, movies, nostalgia nights, it pops up like a signal flare from the mid-'80s. Question: be honest, do you belt the oh in the car, or only at 2 a.m. when no one's watching?
This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials, headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Liverpool in soft focus, 2 friends, Peter Coyle and Jem Kelly, took jangly guitars and a gentle summer light melody and made a song that still feels like a memory you can touch. It's not loud, it glows. Radio embraced it and it slipped into the UK Top 20 before the moment cooled. The debut era promised a lane, romantic, literate pop, but the market was sprinting toward bigger, shinier sounds. momentum thinned. The band's first chapter closed a few years later with later reunions, and the single became a cult keepsake rather than a franchise.
This mood, gentle, with soft.
When you hear that opening riff today, does it feel like 1983 or like a timeless snapshot? This is New Romantic Gloss meeting proper pop craft. Sal Solo's voice, dramatic, slightly haunted, rides a hook built for Top of the Pops. The single went top 20 in Britain. Abroad, they toured hard and looked like the future. But the UK charts got crowded, taste shifted, and by mid-decade, the run was over. If you cue it now, you hear a crisp lesson in arrangement, how to make synths, bass, and drums lift a chorus without crushing it. They bowed out by 85, leaving behind one of the era's most underrated singles. Which sleeve from this era would you frame? This one or another new romantic classic? Birmingham's sophisti-pop postcard ride lyric, Motown-leaning pulse, and a chorus that sticks. Formed by Lol Mason, ex-City Boy, the group landed a genuine UK top 10 and then ran into the classic early 80s squeeze, indie label realities, distribution limits, and a pop landscape that turned on a dime. The follow-up barely grazed the charts. The album became a one-and-done story, but Heartache Avenue still pops on radio because it delivers something rare, bittersweet swagger you can dance to. Did you discover this through 80s radio, a parent's vinyl crate, or a YouTube rabbit hole?
I know they don't sound the way I planned them to be. But if you wait
Late decade synth pop perfection, clean drums, glassy keys, and a lyric that sounds like a vow. America heard it and pushed it to number 11 on the Hot 100. Britain kept it modest at number 58. That split tells a story. The UK scene was already pivoting, while US radio still loved sleek, emotional new wave.
just come out with no cross to.
The album couldn't match the single's gravity. The trio's first run ended by 1990, and The Promise became the calling card that outlived the band's chart life.
You know what to do.
Decades later, it still lights up a dance floor on the first synth stab. Be honest, do you sing the chorus straight or go full belt every time?
Hey, Pop Lore family. Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
Romantic jangle with a 60s heart, Bacharach sway, Love, Birds sparkle, Liverpool soul, critics heard promise, charts were cooler. Two gorgeous albums followed, but the band's gentle tone lived slightly out of step with the mid-80s race for size and sheen. They split before the decade's end. Frontman Michael Head carried the torch into Shack, quietly becoming a songwriter's songwriter. Thank You sits like a secret handshake among fans. Modest peak, massive affection. If you could hand one of these bands a second chance with today's indie pop audience, who gets your vote and why? The journey doesn't end here, pop lovers. Watch this next.